Hello guys, welcome back to this video. In this video, we will talk about arrays. Basically, what are arrays? So the idea behind array is to store multiple items of the same data type, such as like integer or string or any data type, but the same type, to store that in a list or in a same thing, like as you have seen here, as you can see here, this is a fruits array. Okay, this is stored in a contiguous memory allocations, like this is stored one after another. So this is a set of memory, like we can say it is a set of memory in which the data are stored, but the array only can store the what we call is same data types. So here everyone is a string. Okay, everything like apple, orange, banana, grapes and mango, these are strings here. So we can store multiple items of same data types in the arrays. So actually arrays are used to organize data in programming. Okay, now so as you can see here, that how we can create array. So just we can write val any the name of the array, like I gave here fruits, then equals to, there is a function here in Kotlin called array of, and then you can just define the array or the elements inside it. Now as here you can see, there is apple, orange, banana, grapes and mango. These are the 5 items here. But see this thing, so we can the actual array, whenever you want to access an array, you will access like this. So as you can see here, it is the array name and the square brackets here. So inside the square brackets, as you can see here, the array, this is an array of 5 elements, but as you can see, the indexing starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the first element in the array is considered the 0th element of the array. Okay, so if you want to access apple, then what you will write, fruits, in the bracket you will give a 0, because this one is 0, orange is 1, banana is 2, grapes is 3 and mango is 4. So these are the 5 elements, but the size of an array will be 5, but the number of elements as we access will be -1, so 4, as it starts from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So this was the basic of arrays. So let's get into IntelliJ IDE and start the programming. As we are here in IntelliJ IDE, let's start the programming part. Now first we will create the main function. Then inside it, first we will define an array as I showed you in the photo. So let's do it. Then I'll just use fruit, then equals to, as I said, the function array of. As you can see here, there is a function already, array of, and then as you can see here in the down below, there is boolean array of, byte array of, char array of, double array of, float, int, long, short. There are many types of array of functions. So these all array of functions can be used to directly create an like a boolean array or a byte array or a char or a int array. But here we decided to store the strings, right? The strings in array. So just we'll use array of, then we will write the names like apple, banana, everything in C. Here it is coming as an error because it is not a string. So everything should be a string. As you can see here, the elements is already considered as string. So you have to give only strings here, because this can take only one type of data types. So orange, grapes, then mango. Okay, so this is the array list of elements. Now array of elements. Now what we can do, how to access the elements of array. So first what we'll do, we'll just print it. And what I'll do, I'll print fruit, which is our array name, and in the braces I'll write 0. So the index of the element is 0. So what it will print, let's see. Let's run the program and see the output. As you can see here, the output came and it is apple, because the first element is apple. Now if I write 2, so what do you think, what will be printed? Banana? No. It will be orange, because this is the 0th element, this is the second element, and this is the third element, but it is second. 0, 1, 2. So orange printed. So this was array. And if you can just if you want to, like if you want to change anything in this array, so you can do it as what I'll do, fruit. If you want to like change the third element, then I'll change it to something else like berry. Then if I run this program now, it will be berry here. So as you can see here, it is berry. Now you can see here that the val, we gave the val keyword. Still we can change the value of the orange. How? So what is actually val here is doing, you can't change the total array. Like you can't write now like this. If you want to like define like fruit equals to array of anything, array of some things, like some elements, then it will automatically give you an error here. What is it giving? Val cannot be reassigned. So you cannot reassign an array if you have the val keyword, but you can change the value if you have the val keyword. So if you want to reassign it, you have to write it var. Now what happens if you access the second element of this array? Now as the value changed here, so as you can see, IntelliJ IDE is making it pale color, this color, gray color. So this is not needed, because we have changed the value of array here. Now what happens if we use the second element, because here there is no second element. So let's run the program and see what it will print. So as you can see here, there is an exception. What is the exception? Array index out of bound exception. Because see, the index 2 out of bound for length 2. So the length is 2, but there is only two indices like 1 and 2. Sorry, 0 and 1. So 2 is out of bound of this element. So this is array index out of bound error. So that was the val var, that error that came was a compilation error. So the compiler is you can't run it, even you can't run without running. The compiler can know that the array is you cannot change the val to, you cannot reassign if you have the val keyword. But this one, it is an error, but still the compiler has not known that the error is this one, array index out of bound, because this is a runtime error, and these are the most painful errors in programming, because you can't understand the error until you run the program. So this is a logical error. Now as you can see here, if I added a value here, then it will be, you can access the whatever we call the third element, you can access the third element using this fruit in bracket 2. Now there are some functions for arrays also. So first is size. So the size will give you basically size. So if we run this and if I remove this, this is not good. So if we just run this, as it has 3, 4, 5. Now what it will give, 4 or 5, because 4 indices, 0 to 1, 0 to 4, or 5. So it will give you 5 because the size is 5. The indices are 4, but the size is 5. So don't confuse in between that. Okay. Now the second is get. So get is also like the bracket symbol, the above one. So if I here use get and I write here 2, and then if I run it, let's see what it will print. So see here, it printed orange because thus it is working as the get call. So see here, if I place here, should be replaced with indexing. So get call can also be replaced with indexing. And if I do this, see the same thing. So the get one and this one is both same, are both same actually. Then the set value, if you want to change something, like if you want to change, as I changed before, the second element, so first you will write the index, then the element to bury. Okay, now I will print again the second element. Okay, now let's run the program. As I change the second element to bury, sorry, the third element, so let's see what it will print. So as you can see, it printed bury, and as we wrote here println this thing, so it is printing Kotlin unit because it is a unit return. So this one, the main thing is as the value is changed to bury now. Now another thing is, how can you iterate through the list, array list? Now if you want to print the whole array, okay, so you are not going to write array print fruit of 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, not like this. This will be foolishness. Okay, now why will we write so many lines of code if you can do it in small code, right? So this is only 5 elements. If you have tens and hundreds of elements, you can't do that, right? So we will use some looping statements. Now there are many ways to do that in loops. First we will start with the for loop. Okay, so as we learned in the previous video, for loop, so what we will do is we will take I or anything, any element which will start from what 0 to 4, because the elements are 0 to 4, 0 1 2 3 4. So we will do that. So we will write here I in 0 dot dot 4, because we want to iterate it through from 0 to 4. So here what we can do is we can print println. Inside it we will just use the fruit. So what we can do is here we can just use println and then write the function fruit, and inside it we can pass the I. Now if I run this, you can see it will iterate, I will iterate from 0 to 4. So first it will print 0th element, then the first, then second, third and fourth. So as you can see, the total is printed. Now there is another way to print here, print it, which is called for each. To use for each, we will use the name of the array, the fruit array, then dot, we'll use for each. As you can see here, there is a function called for each. Now then, so this it, as you can see here, the it is a string. So the it is an element of the array. So it will go, the it is the element of array. As the I was the index, now the fruit I, that was the total element, now only it is the element. So how you can access it? Just write println and write it inside it. And if you run the program, you can see the output here. So it all printed as a loop. So this was arrays in Kotlin. So you can have, as I told you, as we have seen, you can have array of integer byte, as you can use, as I told you, you can use array int array is equals to int array of. So as you can see, int array of, these functions you can use. So there are many functions. So like this one, int array of, and you can write the elements. So guys, this was all about the array topics. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll meet in the next one.